back, baby. We are back, and we are here on the live stream on YouTube at DTBK, where we are talking about this wild 41-38 victory over the Chargers of Los Angeles in LA. Wow. We're going to have a lot to talk about, the good and a lot of ugly. Depends on what side of the ball you're talking about in this regard. We're getting all that. But I'm Big Z. Let's get to the rest of the Blue Kool-Aid crew that is here. We got UJ.
Hey, everybody.
Red Dog.
Yo.
And Bob.
What's up, everybody? Hey.
Gentlemen. So I want to first just throw this. I want to talk about the positive here first, and that is the offense. Just firing on all cylinders in this game. Absolutely unstoppable. No sacks on either side of the ball. We'll get to our side of the ball in a moment. But from either team, no sacks in this game, which is kind of wild in itself. But Jared Goff, 23 of 33, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the running game, just absolutely on fire, too. David Montgomery, 116 yards on 12 carries for 1 touchdown. Gibbs, 77 yards on 14 carries for 2 touchdowns. I mean, whew.
Not bad.
Red Dog, I mean, just talk about a little bit about this. What was working for this offense against this Chargers defense? It
kind of what we talked about
yeah.
from last week, our health. It was the first time we got a chance to see Montgomery and Gibbs healthy, and with Gibbs having a little bit of experience under his belt now so that he has sort of the tempo of the game. And, man, what a two-headed monster we got here. For a second there early on, I was like, wow, should we ever give anyone but Gibbs the ball? But then Montgomery goes and breaks out a 75-yard touchdown run, and you're just like, okay, I really like what we got going on here. But, I mean, the O-line being healthy, the blocking was great. Like, it was just, it was our strength on full display.
Yeah, UJ, the lines finally get full strength, especially on the offensive line, and I think it definitely showed today.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And one of the things I just had to bring up on this, I mean, yeah, they were clicking in all cylinders, but the couple times where they did sort of get in trouble, if you can even call it that, where they had 3rd and long and they had to answer because San Diego scored, what do? Go to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That guy is absolutely money, just money, man. Every time they need that big first down or that big play, he is always there. Unbelievable. That guy is absolutely fantastic.
Well, almost every day. On some 4th downs, they go to Sam Laporta, too, right, Bob?
And he actually featured in the running attack.
They went to Laporta later in the game when they really did some clutch clutch first down. But I'm with you, UJ. I mean, what a safety blanket it is for this offense, and not only a safety, but he's he did some crazy runs today with the ball too. I mean, he's an awesome player. Just
stud.
Yeah, there's not enough superlatives for him the way he plays. Honestly, God, he just too good.
And I thought the O-line was like really in all cylinders today. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun to watch. The first time we get to see them all together at the same time. Beautiful.
Absolutely. And it could have been even a little better. That call early in the game on the chop block from Decker was very, very
bogus.
questionable. That was pretty bad.
That made no sense.
There's a few very, very questionable penalty calls, and that was one of them for sure.
Yes.
Like, there are situations when chop blocking is illegal, but I did not see any of them on that play.
Yeah, what was wrong with that play?
They said he was out of the box when he did it. Like you can only do it
tackle box,
but he didn't really get her with the block. That's the thing.
He
came up on it. I thought it was a bad.
That's bogus.
Yeah, it was not a great call. I didn't think, but either way, and it took a touchdown away from JMO, which I really wanted to see because we're always trying to get JMO on track, but. Still, I think he had a decent game. He made a really fine catch later in the game, which showed he actually does have hands, and he also had that key block on Montgomery's touchdown run. So, good stuff by JMO.
Yeah, it was a good solid game for him.
And also the name of the game for the Lions offense in this one was, well, first of all, not trusting the defense and going for it on 4th down, possibly at the end of the game. But I mean, they're also 4 for 5 on 4th down in this game. Just absolutely electric.
Hey, can we just talk about that for 1 second, though? At the end, there's a minute 40 some to go, and we have 4th and 3 or 4 yards, and Campbell fucking goes for it. I mean, I was rooting for it. I wanted him to go for it. I was hoping he would, and he did. Oh my God, that's just that guy. Balls of steel, man. Unbelievable, and he trusts his offense that much. Because that's the difference between winning the game outright or possibly giving the ball back to San Diego, who'd been shredding us, and letting them come down the field and possibly score. I mean, they took that possibility out of the picture by doing that, by getting that fourth down. So
yeah, I thought that was the factor. There was the fact that we were getting dreaded that it for probably to go right there than to let defense handle it. But,
and honestly, did we want to give Riley that kick from that range right there, and with the prospect of them getting the ball back? Like, if he misses it there and they get the ball back, I mean,
I don't know. Like, even on the 41-yarder he made, that would have been good from like 55.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I don't know why the
but
Lions did like. No, he must not show anything in practice from above 50 yards because he puts a good leg on these like 40-yarders.
he does.
honestly, I think you can make a couple arguments different ways, but it just seemed like the right thing to do. And
Absolutely, I'm not
Dan
denying
clearly
that.
felt it and went for it, and it was,
I don't think-
was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I don't think it was a Riley thing. I think it was the fact that our defense couldn't stop anything remotely. Don't give the Chargers a chance to get the ball back. Because if the Lions kick a field goal there, I was not very confident that our defense could stop them from scoring a touchdown in a minute and 50 seconds.
There is that, yeah.
I agree. I agree.
So,
but maybe Campbell was saying he has confidence in our defense by going for it on fourth, because if he didn't make it, well, the defense can stop him, right?
maybe.
The logic does.
Well, he definitely
go
showed
both
confidence
ways.
for sure.
I mean, just a very even back and forth game. Probably the biggest thing is a turnover in this game as far as the unevenness. But I mean, time of possession was almost exactly equal. 30 minutes, 34 seconds for Lions, 29 minutes, 26 seconds for the Chargers. Penalties, 44 yards for us, 36 for them. It seemed like we had more penalties, but then the effectiveness of ours, the one like we committed a pass interference at 3rd and 12. That can't happen. Cam Sutton had two defensive pass interferences in this game.
Yeah, but one was completely. I'm sorry, that last one was completely bogus, if you ask me. But
the one in the end zone, right?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Lions go 7 for 8, stopping him on the goal line. Couldn't get him on the 8th one though.
Yeah, initiative really helped in this game. The fact that we came out of the gate much more effective and looked like we were really dominating that game, because really down the stretch it came down to who was going to get the ball last, and they never actually gained the initiative on us. They never got the chance to actually go ahead in the game. Every time they tied it, we came back and answered, and that was pretty excellent.
Absolutely, what a game by the O! Incredible game.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Definitely. And you mentioned it about UJ. I just want to mention it again. Like Monroe St. Brown just came out guns blazing right over the middle. And Goff, we got to give him credit too. He knows where he needs to go with the ball at all times, as long as he's getting protection. And the offensive line stepped up in a big way. I don't even remember Bosa or Mack or anybody on this defensive line for the Chargers called once. Like even Goff, like trying to avoid a rush at like point. Like
the only time I remember was in the red zone. The red zone on that one when we went for 4th down and they got up the middle right away.
True, yeah.
But that was it. Like there was not a lot of that.
Yeah. It was a clinic. It was an absolute clinic. Especially for instance, like the touchdown throw to Brock Wright. That was the thing. Beauty is perfectly placed over the top.
Gorgeous.
Throw too far, but he can't throw him too short.
Nice little rainbow.
Placed perfectly. That one, like on I want to say the back shoulder on like a post in the red zone to Monroe St. Brown. He really threaded. Like I wanted to say back. It wasn't quite back shoulder, but it was. Monroe caught it on his back shoulder. He lasered it right in between two people, where it didn't look like there's much of a throw available at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a hell of a window there.
So I mean, just being able to thread the needle like that, and he's been doing it all year. That's not something new that we've seen on him. Just a fantastic performance from Goff all around in this one, and it helps when you have a clean pocket to throw to all game, which he did. So thing of beauty. We can maybe get to the defense or offense more in a second. Let's go to the others. We can't keep talking without starting to mention the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Connor's not on here. He would be calling for Aaron Glen's head again.
Yeah.
It'd be like the 4th time. But this is twice in the last 3 games. We have given up 38 points on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Not good. The Lions had no pass, as I mentioned, no sacks in this game from either side. The Lions had a little more opportunity than the Chargers, I would say, to get a sack. They kept letting
got there nearly a few times.
Yeah, I hate the nearly sacks.
But like,
I know.
Honestly, this Herbert almost felt like every other. Like it felt like a repeat of. There seems to be a trend of when our defense struggles, it looks very similar to what happens when you play the Seahawks and the Ravens, and now him. Like one time we should have got him sacked. He scrambles and makes a big play. It's that like we just couldn't. Every game where we've struggled on defense, our pass rush just can't quite get home, and the pressure never quite gets to the quarterback, and it's inconsistent. And that just seems to be the hallmark of when our defense gives up points, because once you do that, our secondary, which I still think is pretty good, just can't do it all with that time against these good quarterbacks with talented receivers downfield. Because, I mean, that being said, we are talking about like Keenan Allen here, who is probably still one of the best receivers of all time, honestly. I think he's one of the most underrated players, period.
He's really good.
In history of the NFL. He's ridiculous.
And Herbert's a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Too,
and you give him some time.
He's one of those guys who should be like elite, but never been able to get together for whatever reason.
And he's got a lot of weapons. That Quentin Johnson's pretty talented. Eckler, Allen. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you give a talented offense like that time, and the pass rush doesn't get there, and you're going to struggle.
Well,
that's what happened.
One of the reasons he struggled a little bit this year is because their offensive line has been bad. And the Lions did not take advantage of a porous offensive line. They made the Chargers' offensive line look excellent today.
Yeah. I do think there's something about the way we pass rush, the way we game plan our rush. I don't know. It's different than other teams.
I think that being said, and good team and all that we played against, but I think something's fundamentally wrong that has to be addressed here as we go down the final stretch of the season here, because they see, we came out pretty strong right in the beginning of the game with the defense, had a 3-and-out right away and had the pick and all that stuff, and looking pretty good. But obviously they adjusted, figured something out, and they just pretty much shredded us the rest of the game. We never adjusted back to them. Something, and I can't tell you what it is. I don't know, but something's not right.
It's a pass rush.
It has to be addressed. It could be the rush. It could be the coverage. I mean, these guys are wide open over the middle of the field. Wide open. I mean,
yeah, after like 5 seconds.
But on on the third and 10, I mean, Keenan Allen was open after 2 seconds on a post over the middle at one point. So when they 5 yards of him.
When they dialed up the blitz, they were for it. They were ready to respond to it.
Yeah, they picked up our blitz every time.
When we were blitzing. I'm just saying something's not right. Connor bringing up Aaron Glenn, maybe that's overstating the fact, but something has to be addressed. I just think they got to look at this really hard.
I also don't want to get too. I don't want to get overblown about this. Like, these NFL offenses have an ability to run scores up even on good defenses. Like, I mean, we gave up a lot of points a couple games this year, but we also completely stifled some teams. Like, there seems to be a recipe to get to us, but that's still, you got to stop Aiden Hutchinson, and that seems to. And after that, if no one else steps up, the defense becomes vulnerable. But like. Yeah, sure, they hit some early routes. But you're also facing good teams in the NFL with talented players making plays. So I don't want to act like our defense is suddenly just like super panic mode. It's not.
You could argue the top 3 offenses we've played thus far have all whooped our ass pretty good on the defensive side of the ball.
I mean, I don't know.
Seahawks, the Ravens, and the Chargers. Like the Raiders, their offense sucks. The Buccaneers, their offense sucks.
Falcons' offense doesn't suck.
The Falcons' offense?
It's not that great. They're not that
good. They benched their quarterback. Panthers, they stink. They scored 24 on us. I mean, that was some garbage time stuff.
We need James Houston back. That's what I truly believe. I think James Houston is going to be the secret sauce down the. Well, here's the thing. Like, I think about how did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl last year? It wasn't because they had some stellar defense. It's because they had a couple dogs who could absolutely get after the quarterback as long as down the stretch and stuff. They were a scrappy defense, but they had dudes that could really get after after the quarterback in the home stretch, and disrupt them and do enough to kind of get the game home while Mahomes, does his little magic with Kelsey. So I'm just saying, like, we got some guys. I just think we need someone else to step up in the pass rush because that's where it really all starts. Like, we stuffed the run. Did you guys hear Romo, I think it was, breaking down exactly how they were going to respond to all these different situations against us? Like, he saw it, and they kept working exactly how he was calling it out. And part of that's because the way we protect the run first and stuff like that, and why we're so good at stopping this run because we're prioritizing it. And I think it's hurting us in the way we defend these quarterbacks.
Well, I guess part of the criticism I've seen out there, or the questioning, maybe not criticism, should the Lions have gone out and got somebody at the trade deadline like a Chase Young to possibly help this pass rush, which they didn't, because they could have gave up, like, the price for Chase Young was a third rounder. Sweat's a little different because he was looking for a contract extension, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We won. That's important.
Yeah, I know.
We did win.
Yeah, let's not forget that part.
We did win.
We are 7.
And some of these you're gonna run into a team on the road that's gonna throw their best punch, which these did. And they outlasted them. So
how much run game did we give up in this game too? Because I think that's the thing. We try to put the game on these quarterbacks' arms, and when these quarterbacks step up and do it, then you're just like, oh, okay, well.
Well, I think
they
only had
3.5 yards a carry, 28 for 98, which is pretty good. But I mean, you have to also factor in, like, the Lions had like 4 goal line stops, so I mean, some of those numbers are a little deflated because of all the goal line rushes.
That was fun, the goal line stand. Was how many, like 7 plays in a row? And
7.
Got us.
I got the 8th.
And that 8th one was so predictable, though. I mean, I called. I was telling people next week, man, watch, they're gonna fake it. They're gonna pass it. The guy's gonna be wide open in the end zone.
Double fake. They just threw Keenan Allen out there who couldn't even move.
It was just, I don't know. Well, but it's hard to stop any team that many times. It was a fun stand to watch. Anyway,
8 times from the one.
It was fun to watch.
But, like, that's the thing. Like, our defense is designed. They try to make teams run or not be able to run, and really, it generally works until you face a team whose quarterback can sit there and pick you apart. If you can't then convert that priority to stop the run into violence to break off and rush the passer, which you see it every time against Seahawks, Ravens, now this game, when they're trying to play the run and they can't get that violence to the next level and get off the blocks and stuff, it leaves tons of time for the quarterback. And Romo was describing it in detail throughout that game. And so, right there, UJ, I think that kind of answers your question of what we need to, like, work on right there is maybe sacrifice a little bit in the run or something, or try to get more creative. I don't know, because it looks like we do creative things, but then when our blitzes are getting picked up, it's like, what can you do?
True.
I don't
know.
Yeah. They must have had Connor Staley on the sidelines picking up our signal or something.
Yeah, right.
Connor Stalions, Rud Dog, the Michigan guy who got fired for sign stealing.
Oh, okay.
Bob, what do you think of Harbaugh getting suspended?
Ridiculous. Yeah. What a joke.
You should be happy.
The whole thing's silly, but I mean, technically he did break a rule. But
they're like, hey, do you want a nice little convenient, like, martyrdom story in the middle of your attempt to run for, like, a championship? Here you go. Then you can rally around this, like, persecution.
They still kicked out Penn State and knows about this whole signal thing. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Their team. I mean,
if anything, I think Michigan paid for this treatment. It's helping them more than anything, I think.
Yeah, what do you think? Did you like the coach crying after the game, like Harbaugh was dead?
Yeah, like the drama of it. It's perfect.
It's emotional, man.
There's emotion, and there's like that. I don't know. That was interesting, but
gives them a powerful narrative.
It's all pretty silly, but especially if you're the Big Ten. I know we're on a tangent, but like, you want your team to go to, like, the college football playoff, because that means more money for your conference. So I don't know. I don't really understand the ruining your chance of that, because that's a lot of money. All at schools, but
yeah,
all the other schools are the ones pressuring them. So I don't know. Anyways,
wait, Big Ten's not going to have a representative now? Is that what you just said?
No. They're harming their chances of possibly getting them in by doing this nonsense. Anyways,
by pushing the case against them. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Anywho,
You.
something I think I can't remember who said it about JMO, but I just want to throw out there again, like he continues to be a work in progress in the pass game, like actually catching the ball. But as far as his blocking, he's definitely the best blocking wide receiver we have in this team. That more than enough warrants his presence.
Is he the best?
Field.
I don't know if he's the best, but one thing I loved about watching him block for David Montgomery is how he can like so effortlessly jog and like pace himself to Montgomery there so that he didn't leave him hanging out. Like he could have zoomed ahead and left him kind of dry, but he paced it perfectly to go and just secure his route to the end zone. It was beautiful.
And I was waiting for them to overturn that play. I was just waiting for it because I don't know. It was so close.
Have you ever seen anything that close on the sideline? Like there's a little tiny strip of green that
usually pretty clear cut one way or the other. I've never seen one where they couldn't determine. Like
I didn't think there's an overturn that they called it a touchdown.
Right. Well,
speaking of that run though, that was so
like
stellar.
Roma pointed out though he's the way. He's going down the sideline, not even looking at his feet.
He wasn't.
No.
He wasn't.
That
but he
run
kept
was
in,
so
it was pretty amazing.
So ridiculous. That cut to the outside to free himself to the sideline, that was like elite as anything you see in the NFL. Like the agility, he went like sideways like 5 yards in the blink of an eye and like was suddenly out in the wide open grass. That was, I mean, what a signing going for him. You're not going to see Jamal Williams do that.
No, Jamal Williams he's been hurt a lot, but yeah, I agree. He's
not even to bash Jamal. You're just not going to see him do that kind of a move. That was just stellar.
Right. No, I think we all agree on that point. But I'm just trying to look through my notes here and things on the game. Again, I just hope the Lions continue to stay healthy on the offensive side of the ball. I will be interested to see what changes they make on the defensive side because it's going to be it needs to be something significant.
Continuing to get healthy would be nice. Getting like Houston or like CJ or somebody like that back on the might help.
I mean, that's not coming for a while though. Still,
yeah, but could come in time.
No, but I agree. I think something has to be addressed, and they got to maybe take a different approach or try something different.
Well, the good news for the Lions is that they have the Bears at home in Detroit coming up. And then they have the Packers on Thanksgiving. So 2 home games in a row against 2 inferior divisional.
Uh-oh. Lost the Z-Man.
Divisional rivals. I think he was going to say rivals.
Yes, divisional rivals who are sucky.
Yeah, so we have a good chance of beating those guys. And then after that, we play more inferior teams and more inferior teams after that. So I think what Zach's trying to get, his message here is that we got a very favorable schedule going forward, and we should be able to make some hay here in the NFC.
Yeah, UJ, didn't you see this one as one of the tough games on the schedule? I put this one in Dallas. We're probably the toughest. I did
absolutely, but now you got to add Minnesota in there because they're playing tough right now.
Oh yeah,
and they just got.
I didn't think that early, but now I don't know. You can't.
We should win all those games, but I don't think you ever take a division game lightly, especially the way Minnesota's playing. Even the Bears will have a puncher's chance. They're trying to get better, as the year goes on.
They do. You're right. They got a puncher's chance. They do.
I think we'll win those games, but you can't take any game lightly on this schedule. I don't think.
Absolutely not in the NFL, man. The NFL, like, how many times has everything flipped on its head in the NFL this season where, like, the 49ers looked like a juggernaut and then lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And, like, the Broncos look like they couldn't, like, beat a high school team after playing Miami, and then they beat, the Eagles or something. Like, it's the NFL, man. Parity everything is only different by margins, and, like, sure, there's can be some significance there, but it's not that big of a difference between any team.
Yeah, and I give Campbell a lot of credit for having this team ready. After the bye week, the guys get a little relaxed and stuff, and feeling a little cocky. But I think he kept their head straight. And granted, it was a mostly offensive performance, but still, I think he kept their heads on straight enough that we came out with the win in this one. And
I get kicked out for a second. You're talking about people's heads.
What? Yeah, heads.
Or something. I'm glad they're straight now.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, we were continuing your conversation there. We finished it off.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Bears and Packers, in short, should be a great way to right the ship defensively.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, because on that note, like the Lions are now 7-2. It's the 2 seed right now if the season ended today. Obviously, a long way to go, but game and a half lead in the division. A team called the Minnesota Vikings, who lost their starting quarterback, lost their All-Pro wide receiver, have now won 5 in a row. They were 1-4. Now they're 6-4, and they won a game last week with a quarterback that was there for 3 days. Didn't know anybody's name besides probably people he's like seen in like I don't know the news or something. And then
maybe that's the secret because remember last year Baker and Mayfield came with no. Who didn't even know the team and sons the game and Dobbs doing it. Just
now this kid Dobbs is almost becoming one of the big stories in the NFL. I mean,
definitely
he's kicking ass right now and he's looking good doing it. I don't know.
He's got
to give him props.
So I would definitely not discount them by any means.
No.
Well, they got a winning record at 6-2, so yeah, that would be pretty dumb.
6-4,
or 6-4. I mean,
yeah, they have not had their bye yet. So we have we're 7-2, so we have a game and a half in them right now. But we play them the 2 of the last 3 games of the season.
Yeah.
It's one of the more bizarre scheduling things you'll see. But so this is the Lions' remaining schedule. In case you're listening, don't know it off the top of your head. Home against the Bears on Sunday, then Thanksgiving against the Packers. Obviously, that's at home. Then we go on the road for 2 at New Orleans, at Chicago. Home against the Broncos on the 17th. Christmas Eve, it's at Minnesota. New Year's, right, the day before, 12:30, December 30th, at Dallas. That should be an interesting one. That could be for seeding ramifications.
Very
possibly.
Interesting.
And then the last one is at home against the Vikings to close out the season. Could that be for the division?
That looks
I hope
like
not. I hope we haven't wrapped up by then. But
I hope so.
That looks like 14-2 to me, honestly.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Wait, it doesn't. Right, 15-2.
15-2. Yeah.
Well, the Vikings was like 4th at the last one. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a scenario where 16 games are played instead of 17. Anyways, so I mean it's a very favorable schedule. Again, the Lions should be favored in every one of those games. Well, I don't know. Now the Vikings, the way they're playing, the Lions might not be favored when they go to Minnesota, depending on how their season unfolds the rest of the way. But either way, definitely a more favorable schedule than maybe some others out there. If the Lions continue to win, like the Eagles have a really tough stretch. They're playing like the Eagles, the Bills, the Bengals. I'm sorry, the Eagles playing the Chiefs. Yeah, you play yourselves every week too. The Lions play themselves every week. 4 penalties. But sorry, I meant the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals. I know are in there too. So they have a tough stretch as opposed to Lions. So a lot of interesting. A lot of fun. Actually, the Lions would play right now. They would host the Vikings if the season ended today. So they play them a 3rd time in 4 weeks.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, after we beat them 2 times at the end of the season, I have a feeling they're not going to be standing so high in the seeds.
Yeah, I'm just going to say a funny thing as a fan. Now that this team has been as good as they are, we know that we finally have a good team to watch, and they're winning this game, and now I feel myself like fretting over the poor defensive performance and stuff like this. And I go, what's wrong with me, man? Like, let's enjoy these wins. A win is a win, right? Like, we used to just be so elated just to have a victory. And now these victories, it's not good enough because our defense wasn't good.
I'm pretty elated.
I enjoy it.
You know what I mean? I mean, come on.
I'm loving this. Like this season, like this game.
Oh my God.
I love the fact that they were chasing us instead of us chasing them. Like I always thought, whoa, if they score and tie it, we'll just score again. Like
right, exactly.
I like our chances in this game. Don't fret. Don't fret.
I'm not fretting.
Enjoy the ride.
Much. It's just like I would have never questioned it before. I just come off this like, oh my God, we won a fucking game. Like now I'm like, we won, but oh man, our defense really having a little worried about what's going on there. Like, why?
And I just want to throw out
worry
Ben.
About something.
We haven't mentioned his name yet, but Ben Johnson just continues to just be an excellent play caller. Just like knowing how to dial up the right play call at the right time. That's not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of coaches out there that can like scheme up some good plays, but not call them at the right time. And he just continuously displays great timing with his play calls. I like betting the Lions first quarter a lot because the Lions just come out like ready to go in their first 15 plays every week. They just seem to really know how to attack the weaknesses when starting the game, and they did that today. Well, the penalty really hurt them because I love that play design to JMO on the swing pass. Sweet. It was great. It was great like use of his skill set. The Lions said they focused a lot in the bye week on the red zone on both sides. And I they came out. It showed initially there.
Only the one really. Oh yeah, I guess the penalty and then the stop.
Right. On downs. But either way, so as much as we're harping on Aaron Glenn, I just want to throw credit to the other coordinator on the team, Ben Johnson. Not that we don't do it enough, but
I will say this too.
Yeah, say it again.
The eye test and the way things unfolded. Like I know they put up a lot of points on us, but like. I still say we made it way harder on their offense than their defense made it on ours. Like, they had to work. Like most of those drives had so many plays because they kept having to use everything to get down on us and stuff. I just felt like our defense just kept giving up the big play when they just couldn't get them off the field, which was really frustrating. But I still say we made it harder on them.
I guess it's a moral victory and the defense in that regard.
Well, it's a real victory.
They got a real victory.
God, you guys are killing me with this energy right now. Jesus, we're 7-2. We just won. Oh God, we gave up a bunch of points. It's the NFL. We went against a high-powered offense. They put up a bunch of points, but we won. Who cares? Guess what? We can play them next week, and we might, shut them down. Week to week, it doesn't matter. We know this offense.
Weren't you and UJ discounting the first game because they didn't have all their players out there, and you thought it was
no,
not really.
Oh, I forgot to say we're 6-2.
Why
with
do you
keep
win bringing up that and
showing
you don't understand my stance on that?
You guys twist it that way. We just said we want your team's best shot. That's all we're saying.
I forgot to point out in the standings that we have an asterisk next to the 7, and they point to the first game.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy.
They're all wins, baby.
That's right. It's the NFL. And we're not just doing it in a fluky way. Like these wins are real. This team is solid. So sure. There's ways we struggle, in each game, but some days our offense plays better, some days our defense plays better. And today our offense played better but let's not forget, there was a turnover our defense gave us early in the game that helped make sure we got that dub. So our defense didn't do nothing in that game.
Good point.
Yeah, they slowed them down long enough for us to get the ball back to win at the end.
More than they slowed us down.
Exactly.
We won the game.
We're not unhappy about the victory. Of course, we're elated.
You just got this weird energy. It's killing me.
We got to talk about something.
We have Super Bowl aspirations on this podcast.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. We need these wins, baby.
This.
Yeah, well, you don't get to Super Bowl going, oh, God, we gave up some points.
You're not going to Super Bowl giving up 38 points a game.
The Eagles have had some sketchy wins, but they keep winning. You don't look at their schedule and say they suck because they just barely won. They won. Right. They win.
You're right, Bob. You're right.
And
a win is a win, damn it.
Look, when we struggle, it's against good teams. We dominate the lesser teams. We battle the good teams. That's what good teams do.
That's how it works in the NFL. Yeah. Okay.
And this one we won. The Ravens one is the one we really shot the bet in.
True.
The Seahawks, we could have won that game. It came to overtime, So.
But every team gets one of those too. The Chiefs lost to Denver. Good Lord. And then, we did that one to the Ravens. So, every team gets one of those a year, right? Even Super Bowl teams get one of those, right?
Yeah. We did it to the Patriots that 1 year under Patricia.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So, so the Ravens one, that's the one. That's our one.
Right. It's like Neo. He's the one.
The one.
It was.
Yes, that's right.
The red pill or the blue? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The Honolulu blue pill.
Yeah,
that's
right. You have chosen wisely.
How deep the lions.
I'm mixing my movies up here, but that's okay.
Little Indiana Jones 3. Yeah, I got you.
Anybody else that we want to mention here?
Anybody else?
Like we did play good on like our run defense. I don't know, that was solid.
Yeah.
I do want to say on that
Jack
pick,
Campbell.
On that pick, Kirby Joseph, that was an excellent catch.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a
super catch.
That was great ball skills right there to get 2 feet in and everything like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a little shout out to Brock Wright, making that big
Brock,
play.
man.
Yeah.
I love having him and where he's at on this roster. He's that perfect little secret weapon just waiting to kill you. Forget about it.
I love these guys we don't talk about a lot, and they come up big in a game, make a big play,
Yeah.
It's good. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
For sure. And just touching on JMO one more time real quick. I do like the fact that they're involving him a little bit more in some of the shorter stuff, and just get a couple catches under your belt, get a little timing with Goff, and then they'll be able to break it open, as the season goes on. But,
Bob, I think you're right.
I
think he is slowly but surely getting a little more into the action, and this is building up to a nice wave going toward the end of the season, into the playoffs. He's that X factor right now.
Yeah,
we don't know how good he can be.
If he ever turned it up, right, that would be like a whole.
He did have
another guy.
He did have a nice catch on the. It was kind of like a broken play. Came back to the ball, caught it low.
Yeah,
a great play.
He did.
So he can catch it.
It was a hard catch, and he made it. It was a nice catch.
They're still this offense is still like kind of like an iceberg right now. I feel like we're just seeing the tip of the potential. Like, I mean, it's really coming to fruition at running back now. But like, if you just see like what if JMO really starts to develop, like I think he's brewing right now because like he's just putting in consistency like Dan Campbell wants, and one of these days they're gonna draw up the right plays and he's gonna have a big impact on the game directly. And like that, when he does that, this offense is gonna go to a whole new level. Like, because like I do feel like that last receiver position, like Reynolds has kind of gone quiet. It's really become like, the Amon-Ra St. Brown wide receiver show, and then sort of Raymond sprinkled in there a little bit more. But like, I feel like we need another receiver to step up more significantly, and I think that's going to be JMO.
Yeah, and Khalif had a big 41-yarder right after that touchdown to help set up the game-winning field goal there at the end. Great scheme. Great scheme.
Yeah.
He couldn't be any more wide open on the
He's probably not the fastest guy in the NFL, but when that guy's running full tilt, it's so fun to watch him. Like his legs, the way he moves, like he's a pretty runner to watch. I mean, when he just full tilt running, I don't know. He just
very pretty.
Yeah, he's good form. Good form. Way to go,
those feet are moving so damn fast.
Yeah, and he's also, knock on wood, a very reliable punt returner, which
absolutely.
I don't know if you watch a lot of college or NFL, even other games during the day. Like the Browns today, for instance, like muffed. Donald Peoples-Jones actually was their punt returner. They missed him today because that guy, their new guy, muffed the punt. But you routinely see a lot of these guys muff a punt, and I think Khalif Raymond's. I'm trying to recall. Has he muffed one? Oh,
I don't think so.
He might have done one. I don't want to say it out loud.
He might have done one, but I think he got it back. But on that point, just real quick, there was always a rule like this halo around the catcher. You had to give him like a yard distance. But it seems like that rule has changed. You can be like literally on the guy practically while he's catching the ball.
Yeah.
You can't actually like hit him, but you don't have to give him that space.
Yeah, you just can't impede the catch.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that rule's changed over time, and I don't know. Just something I observed. Anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty good concentration on those guys that catch the ball with the people bearing down on them.
Absolutely.
So.
No kidding. I think Laporta deserves another just mention. I think he stepped up for a couple really big plays today.
No.
That conversion on the 4th and 2. Oh my gosh.
That was as big as play as there is, man. Basically won the game for us, that play.
Yep.
He's so damn consistent. Kind of reminds me of he's like a tight end version of St. Brown. Like he gets 3+ catches every single game.
4 for 40 today.
He got 4, yes. I was hoping he got his 4 because I don't think he's had less than 4, maybe once.
It's funny if we didn't if Laporta wasn't playing like he was, we'd be probably complaining about just trading Hockenson away because Hockenson's kicking ass in Minnesota. But Laporta's just playing awesome. So
yeah,
definitely neutralized.
Yeah, Laporta had 3 against Carolina. That's the only one he hasn't had 4 or more in.
You might be right, UJ, but I think we knew what Hawk was, and he's doing a really good job.
No, he's doing a great job right now. And but thank God Laporta's as good as he is because we're not missing that because
absolutely.
Yeah, and we got a much cheaper version of him.
Way cheaper.
And a better blocker.
See, that's Holmes has got he's got this year, plus he has the long term in mind and all this stuff. That I think it's part of the reason why we didn't pick up a pass rusher because he's looking ahead at what we need to draft.
Yes.
I don't know if
draft capital, who we have to pay,
right.
Did I don't know if that's come up on the pod yet, but did you know that the reason we couldn't get anybody is all his offers and trades were he wouldn't offer anything from next year's draft. That's why we just didn't score in the top rung. We weren't willing to bid next year's draft resources.
I believe that.
Which I feel like next year is probably the final foundational draft of this team, to where you round out the last of sort of your core stars, and then
Did we talk about it before last week that every Holmes draft is still with the team?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
It's absolutely incredible.
One?
That's wild.
Every single one. So that's kind of
incredible.
Kind of a nuts. So keep that going.
Absolutely
be competitive for years.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure.
Holmes and Campbell team is something to behold, baby.
Yeah,
they're kicking ass.
I didn't. Did you guys get to see the post game? I didn't see the locker room stuff yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be awesome.
I know.
So
man,
fun. And fun. Rud Dog, even you had to be excited to watch Amon-Ra today. Come on.
What did he do again? 100.
He had a few catches, a
54
few
yards.
Yeah, most boring.
Oh, how about the? I mean, I think it's underrated how great of a catch that was on his touchdown catch. The quick screen, the low throw to him. Inch off the ground, and he made it look effortless.
Did he only have 1 touchdown or 2?
One.
I think.
One. Yeah, the one.
Oh, okay. It was on the screen, or the bubble screen.
He could have had 2, but he got caught from behind on that one. But
I thought he had one where he almost got it or something.
8 for 156.
Yeah, he is absolutely dynamite. I can't
Big Z, what's his season stats right now? Can you tell me that?
I can.
Yeah.
He has 821 yards and 4 touchdowns. So
How many?
12 yards per catch.
How many catches?
He has 65.
Wow.
And he missed one game. That's why.
Yeah, he had 106 last year. He had 106 last. So he's on pace to surpass that.
Pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the catch stat versus his draft class, who has all higher profile guys, arguably?
Yeah.
260 to the next guy is Jamar Chase, 230 or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, way ahead.
He isn't a dynamo.
Yep, and they're gonna have to pay him.
They gotta pay him. He's a must pay.
Him, then you don't pay any.
You pay him.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Pay that man.
I mean, even if you let the running backs go, you can just hand it off to him anyway. So you at least got.
That's one guy you pay, buddy.
No kidding.
Pay him.
No effing kidding. That guy, yeah. No, and this was one of his best games of his career, honestly. 154 yards and a touchdown. This, honestly, the guy across from him, who I was seeing some nice comparisons today, because Keenan Allen, I just have an immense respect for that dude as a player. I think he is one of the best to ever done it. And every time, it's hard to be mad when he beats you because he's just so good. But I see so much of what he does in Amon-Ra, that consistent just tear your heart out production is, oh man.
Well, again, Amon-Ra's in his 3rd year of his 4-year contract, so next year's his last year.
And unlike Keenan, I
Yeah.
think Amon-Ra's not going to get wasted on a win. Teams that never go anywhere. I think he's actually going to get Super Bowl because I don't
Yeah.
think I think Keenan
Yeah.
unfortunately will not.
Well, if you're wondering what the top contract for wide receiver in the NFL is, since we're on the topic, it's Tyreek Hill, $120 million, 30 a year, $120 million, 72 guaranteed out of all that. I would imagine Amon-Ra will be going for somewhere in that neighborhood to a degree. The fifth highest is Stephon Diggs, 96 million, 24 a year. So, anyways, it looks like Amon-Ra will be cost. I'm trying to see who had the most recent contract.
What's like the biggest like dollar moving stat for receivers? Is it yards, touchdowns, like receptions? Like I'm
Hard to
curious
say.
because I feel like
Just overall effectiveness for the team. Like that's why it's just hard to say. Especially Amon-Ra's really young. Like some of these guys got their contracts when they're in their late 20s. Amon-Ra's 24, so he's worth even more because of how young he is still too.
still
But
on
he's
his
different
rookie
than Tyreek
contract.
Hill. Like Tyreek Hill has that blazing speed that just
right
killerness.
But he's also similar in regards like he finds a soft spot in the zone and can beat you that way too.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, except for he's not going to run
size.
away from you like Hill does.
No.
Let's just make it 100 million. Give him 100.
That's the only reason I
mean,
can't put him on
that's
that
probably
tier
what he
like
gets.
a Hill.
4 or 5
Every
years.
year the cap goes up, so
Yeah.
Holmes will be like, I'm going to write a number down on this paper and slide it across to you.
Here's a blank check. Just fill in the amount you want.
Yeah.
Just keep writing zeros till your heart's content.
Oh,
So maybe
boy.
AJ Brown is a good comparison. AJ Brown's a beast too, but 100. He got 100 million.
I still
he's 25 a
say
year.
That's a lot of money. But yeah, I'll probably be like that.
I still say he is Golden Tate 3.0. I said 2.0, but now he's 3.0. I think, but he reminds me so much of Golden Tate. That kind of slot guy who's so quick, gets open all the time. He moves
Quicker.
like a jitterbug, like a water bug. Just changes direction so immediate, so fast. Just reminds me so much of Tate, except he's better.
Plus, he's got that strength.
Yeah, we just need to see him backflip into the end zone.
Yeah, but he's stronger. He's
No, he
he's
doesn't do
tougher. He's all those things, and yeah, he's just a better version.
Yeah.
That's my favorite comparison with
I don't
him.
know.
But
Yeah, he's
good.
damn good.
He's going to outshine him in the end. But yeah, I think that's good comparison, though.
yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting time when some of these contracts come due. It's like that's why we got like this window now, which I guess that's why I think they're thinking he's probably not going to want his contract next year, but probably maybe the year after they can get away. I don't know, because like these things have a way of coming to a head. These guys tend to want their money before they finish out their current contracts now.
well, they've been pretty smart.
Well,
I don't know all the numbers and all that, but I mean, look, rookie year contracts for Gibbs and Laporta. I mean, we're going to have to pay Amon-Ra and probably Goff before
And
the
Sewell.
next couple of years. Sewell. So we do have a few guys we're going to have to pay, but we do have guys under contract for the next 2-3 years, like key guys.
Also,
So
be prepared to see the mercilessness. I think you're get ready to see like the true villain, whatever you want to say, of Brad Holmes come out as this team starts to come to a head like that in certain areas because we're not going to pay everybody. And you can't. And
Good problem to have.
You
but-
don't want to
Exactly.
but like you got to convert things in the future. So like there's going to be some painful things in the not too distant future where some of these guys go. Maybe even we trade them a little, early to make something happen before it's like a Vince Wilfork or something. Who knows? But right now, this season, where we're at, I love this team.
Yeah, love
we
it.
got so much going on right now. Maybe we could use a little more little teeth on that pass rush, but besides that, it's hard to complain about this roster.
true.
Yeah. This is a really fun team. 7-2. Lions right now a 2 seed at season end today in the NFC. Hard to complain, especially where we've been over many, many years.
Yep.
As a Lions fan, especially recently. But we will get into everything about the upcoming game where the Lions are hosting the Bears. I imagine 10-point favorites. I haven't looked at the go-ahead line, but I imagine it'll be heavy favorites. Against the Bears team that's 3-7, coming off a victory on Thursday Night Football.
That was such a
Mighty
bad game.
Baguette, man.
That was maybe the most
Baguette's
boring
the
game
truth.
I've ever seen in my life.
It was very boring.
Baguette is the future.
Well, I think Field should be back for this one. He almost returned to Thursday
Yeah.
Night Football.
Keep him on the bench. Baguette's the guy.
Tyson Bagent?
Oh, I thought it was named after the pastry. Bajent, yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. The Bears are an interesting team right now, especially because you got they just added what's his face on defense.
Oh, Sweat.
Sweat.
And he looked good in his first appearance. He'll probably just be enough to help them, move their way away from us. Super high draft.
We will crush the Bears. We'll beat them so bad.
Don't worry, we'll have a lot
puny
of
and
time.
sets.
Yeah.
Shit all over the Bears later this week.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
do that game on. So we'll do that on Wednesday night. The pod will probably come out Thursday, like usual.
I think
we'll probably have an answer
remind me
line
next
then.
week my roar of the week not to go defense like I did this week. 'Cause,
Yeah.
sorry, keep previewing Z. Sorry,
No, you're good.
that would be bad.
That'll come later this week. But we've been recording this live on YouTube. That's at TTBK, where you can search and subscribe so that you can get alert any other live streams that we do or any other videos. Or just type Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid on YouTube. Also, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, please download, please subscribe, and please leave a review. Greatly appreciate that. Instagram at Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid. Twitter/X at Drinking Lions. And then our Gmail as well, Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid at gmail.com. Send us any questions or any sort of communication you like on there. Love to hear from you. And then, of course, I want to thank our producer, Kid J.
Good day.
Good
Kid
J.
Thanks for doing a great job producing this podcast. We really appreciate it. And thank you to SidelineReport.com for sponsoring the podcast. I really appreciate you as well. Other than that, Lions sitting at 7-2.
Not too shabby.
I don't know if you can tell from my voice, a little stuffy right now. Got a little cold going on, but I will still sleep very happily, very soundly after a Lions victory. That'll help my sleep tonight. So, as it always does after any victory. I've had a lot of great Sunday night sleeps on a Sunday night this year. Because just the work day, everything on Monday is just so much better. It's just a little extra pep in the step, A little pep in the step.
Nice.
So I hope the people throughout Detroit and throughout the country that are Lions fans also have a little extra pep in their step tomorrow morning as they think about this number 2 seed Lions battling for 1 seed and home throughout the playoffs. So the Lions get home throughout the playoffs. It's over. You might as well just pack our bags to Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Anyways. So, thank you everybody for listening. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be back later this week previewing the upcoming game against the Bears. And last but not least, as always, go!